So we are going to discuss a very beautiful poem, a very good poem, that is Autumn, written by Kalidasa and translated by writer. So Kalidasa was a classical Indian poet and playwright, widely regarded as the greatest poet and dramatist in the Sanskrit language. His poetry represents the height of the Kavya style as exemplified by his epic poem Raghuvamsha and his lyric poem Meghadatta. His plays and poetry are primarily based on the Indian Puranas. Arthur W. Ryder, 1877 to 1938. He was a professor of Sanskrit in University of California, and he has only translated his poem, Kalidasa's poem, Autumn, in English. So what Ryder said about Kalidasa? What he was saying, that rarely has a man walked the earth who observed the phenomena of living nature as accurately as he. And Kalidasa's autumn is a description of the month of Ashwin and Kartik. According to the Hindu scriptures, according to Hindi scriptures, there are 6 seasons like Vasant Ritu, that is spring season, Grishma Ritu, that is summer season, Varsha Ritu, that is monsoon season, and Sharad Ritu, that is autumn season, Hemant Ritu, that is pre-winter season, and Shishir, that is winter season. Now, say something about few ideas about this autumn. Now, as the rain starts to decrease from the month of Ashwin, the autumn starts. The autumn comes as a relief from the continuous rain. And during autumn season, the cloud seems tired of raining. It drifts across the sky leisurely with its silvery head and looks like a huge mass of cotton. The sky has erases its last trace of black stain and turns deep blue. The earth's surface is covered with wild shively flowers. Indian autumn is called the season of velvet, which is so fond of tourists. At this time, it is not hot but warm enough and comfortable. It is the hardest time of apples, fairy pepper, rice, and other crops. Now, the tourist hurries to enjoy the comfort of living warm days and visit the national parks with rare animals, and it at last till the end of Kartik. Now, the autumn comes. We'll start the poem. The autumn comes a maiden fair in slenderness and grace, with nodding rice stems in her hair and lilies in her face. The first 4 lines from the poem, that the autumn comes a maiden fair in slenderness and grace, with nodding rice stems in her hair and lilies in her face. As you can see here, maiden means young and unmarried girl. Slenderness means thin or the slim. Grace means beauty. So what the poet is saying, that on the departure of the rainy season, that is Varsha, on the departure of the rainy season, the autumn comes by bringing pleasure in the month of Ashwin and Kartik. And the poet appreciates the autumn season is looking like a young, slim, attractive, and beautiful girl. So here the poet has given a comparison of one season, that is autumn season, with a young beautiful girl who is so thin, lean and thin. Now, with nodding rice stems in her hair and lilies in her face. Nodding means moving, swinging head. So you must be noticing that in this season, in the autumn season, the crop of rice is ready to ripe, and thus tenuous stalks of rice moves here and there because of the wind, and lilies start to bloom. So here the poet describes that the autumn girl becomes beautiful due to rice stems. They beautify her hair. They beautify her hair. The blooming of bright lilies are also playing their part for adorning her face. In flower of grasses she is clad as, and as she moves along, birds greet her with their cooing glad, like a bracelet's tinkling song. Now, glad means wear, greet means to welcome someone, cooing glad, that is a melodious sound made by the birds, and tinkling means light and clear ringing sound. Now, see, the earth actually, it means the earth actually becomes green in rainy season and because of grass, but as autumn comes the flower blooms on it. You know, the earth actually become green in rainy season, because of water, but as the autumn comes the flower blooms on it. The flowers of grasses looks like the dress of that girl as she moves along, means after passing some days she is welcomed by the birds with their melodious sound. They create sound like the tinkling of the bracelets, which is so melodious to hear. A diadem adorns the night of multitudinous stars. Her silken robe is white moonlight set free from cloudy bars. So here diadem means a crown. Adorns means decorate. Multitudinous means innumerable. Robe means clothes. Set free means make free from. And bars, here it bar means patches. In this poem, bar means patches. So here the poet describes that the night in the autumn season, and the poet says that the autumn has a crown, as if she has worn a crown. So saying that she has a crown of innumerable stars on her head, and it looks magnificent. The poet describes her mood that she has worn a silken anointed dress of white moonlight, and it looks so beautiful because there are no clouds in the sky. No cloud in the sky means no dark cloud patches in the sky. And on her face the radiant moon bewitching smiles are shown. She seems a slender maid who soon will be a woman grown. So radiant means bright, bewitching means fascinating, maid again girl, and grown means like adult. So the poet tells us about the season that the young girl's face is like a bright moon, shining like a bright moon, and she is fascinating to everyone by her beautiful smile. Now the poet says more about that autumn season, that as the autumn season starts it looks like very slim and young girl, but after some weeks it will become like an adult woman. That means the beauty of autumn will fade as it comes to an end, and the beginning of new season, that is pre-winter, that is Hemant seasons. That's the end of this beautiful chapter, Autumn. And here we have read how beautifully the poet Kalidasa has compared autumn season with a beautiful girl, right? So this is the poetic way to express anything, and this is the beauty of Kalidasa, only to express autumn season, in a beautiful way. That's the end of this poem, beautiful poem, Autumn. Thank you so much.